All right, let's just jump right into it. Today we're going to talk about and solve one of the most annoying parts of learning chess, losing a game in just a few moves to some cheap, sneaky opening. And I promise you, after this, it is never, ever going to happen to you again. We've all been there, right? You know that feeling, just that pit in your stomach when your opponent plays some tricky little opening and then, bam, it's checkmate. It feels so unfair, it's kind of embarrassing, and honestly, it just makes you want to flip the board over. But here is the great news. These traps, they only work on people who don't know the secret. So today, we are going to give you the exact tools to not only survive these cheap shots, but to completely turn the tables and punish the person who tried to pull a fast one on you. Okay, so we're starting with the big one, the most famous beginner trap of all time, the scholar's mate. It is the first trick almost everybody learns, and after today, it's the last time it will ever work on you. So the whole idea behind the scholar's mate is just a brutally simple 4-move checkmate. And it all targets one square, f7. Now, why f7? Well, because at the very start of the game, it's the weakest spot on your side of the board. It's only defended by your king, and that's it. And you know what? This attack becomes so obvious once you know what to look for. The second you see your opponent's queen slide out to h5 or f3 in the first couple of moves, ding, 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 alarm bells should be going off in your head. And when their bishop joins the party on c4, you have 100% confirmation. They're going for the scholar's mate. Okay, pay close attention because this is the single most important moment. After white plays their queen to h5, the move that almost every single beginner makes is to play g6, right? You're trying to attack the queen. This move is a total blunder. White will just play queen takes e5 check, and they win a pawn, and your whole position just falls apart. No, the correct move is nc6. It's quiet, it's a solid developing move, and it solves everything. This little sequence builds you a perfect, totally bulletproof defense. So first, you play nc6. Why? To protect your pawn on e5. Now that your pawn is safe, now you can play g6 to kick that queen away. After the queen moves, you play nf6, and boom. Just like that, the threat is gone. It's completely neutralized. That f7 square is guarded forever, and white's queen is just sitting there looking kind of silly. So let's just lock this in, okay? They play qh5, you play nc6, not g6. And to stop the final checkmate threat on f7, you use your knight. Just remember this rule, develop your knights to defend. Pushing pawns around your king early on just creates weaknesses for later. All right, so you've totally mastered how to shut down the scholar's mate. Let's level up. Now we're going to talk about a trap that feels way more dangerous, way more complex. It's called the fried liver attack. But guess what? The secret to diffusing it is just as simple. Now, just like the scholar's meat, this attack is also hammering away at that weak f7 square. But this one's a lot more violent. It involves sacrificing a knight right on f7, and the whole point is to drag your king out into the open where it can be hunted down. It's absolutely terrifying, but only if you let it happen. So how do you see this one coming? Well, the setup is pretty much always the same. You're playing a standard opening called the two knights defense. White puts their bishop on c4, and then all of a sudden, their knight makes this super aggressive jump to g5. That move, ng5, is the only warning sign you need. It's basically screaming at you, I am about to sacrifice my knight on f7. This slide right here shows you the whole game. After their knight jumps to g5, you have to strike back in the center with d5. They'll take your pawn, and now you have a choice. The move that everybody falls for is taking back with the knight, nxd5. This is the one and only move that lets the fried liver attack happen. The correct move, the move that shuts the whole thing down, is knight a5. Yep, it really is that simple. So here's your safe path, step by step. You see that knight jump to g5? You immediately push your d-pawn to d5. After they capture, you play our magic move, knight a5, which attacks their bishop. Then you just calmly prepare to get your pawn back, and when you finally do, look at that. Your position is perfect. You're safe, your pieces are coming out, and you've completely dodged the bullet. So let's burn this into our memory. You see n5, you play d5. After they take your pawn, you play n5. You never, ever play nxt5. That single choice is literally the difference between having a comfortable, easy game and just total disaster. Okay, so we've diffused two totally different traps. But what if I told you that the defense for both is actually based on the exact same secret idea? See, the key isn't just to memorize a bunch of moves.
It's about understanding the deep flaw in your opponent's whole plan.
And this, right here, is the golden rule. When somebody tries a cheap, early attack on you, what they're really doing is breaking the fundamental principles of good chess. They're bringing their queen out way too early, or they're moving the same piece twice before developing their other pieces. And if their little attack fails, which you now know how to make happen, their pieces are they're clumsy, they're misplaced, and they're super vulnerable.
Think about it. Look at how these principles connect to both traps. In both of our defenses, what did we do? We used our pieces to control the center. We developed with tempo, which is just a fancy way of saying our developing moves also attacked their out-of-place pieces. We saw the attack on f7, and we calmly dealt with it. We basically proved that an early queen attack isn't something to be scared of. It's an opportunity.
And that brings us to the final, and honestly, the most important mindset shift. You are no longer the person who's just trying to survive these traps. From this moment on, you are the person who punishes people for trying them.
See, by defending correctly, you completely turned the tables. That opponent's queen that was supposed to be this terrifying attacker, well, now it's just a target. Their other pieces are still at home, undeveloped, they can't help. Suddenly, you're the one with the better position, the better development, and a clear winning plan. You didn't just survive their trap, you actually lured them into yours.
So the next time you're playing and someone tries one of these little tricks, you're not going to feel that fear anymore. You're going to feel excitement because you know the secret. You know not just how to defend yourself, but you know how to win because of it. So the only question left is, are you ready to go do it?